These are good.
We had to try their freeze-dried ice cream sandwiches.
They live up to the hype.
Hey guys, this is Kelsey from Briar Farm. Mike and I are down in southern Michigan visiting our friends Rachel and Todd at 1870s Homestead. And we're super excited. They're giving us a tour around their backyard and their homestead, and we're getting a first-hand glance at all the fun stuff they have going on here.
So we can go in and we'll show you the chicken coop real quick.
Okay.
So we use this to make our compost. We just throw all of our kitchen scraps, garden scraps in here. We usually will put fresh wood chips down every winter, and then they'll turn it, and then I come in here and harvest compost from it for the garden.
Nice.
Todd's new Easter eggers, he absolutely loves them. They're so darn cute. One of them is in quarantine right now because she was getting picked on by first the dog through the fence, and then because the dog got her, they started getting at her, so she's getting protected right now. But I do need to get my eggs. Something that I think people can get the perception of from our channels on YouTube is that everything is as it should be.
Yeah.
No, just as it should be, right? But when you work full time, like I know you guys work full time too,
Yeah.
you can't always do it all. So I probably have a few days, 5 days worth of eggs in here to quarantine setup. Todd has a little night light that's solar for him.
And you think this used to be a smokehouse?
Yeah, so there was where the burn pit was right here, and then you can see the roof is all charred from the smoke. So. All right, well this is anyway, you can see there's broccoli scraps and everything in here from the garden. We just let everything just come in here and break down. They love it.
Yeah, they look super shiny and healthy.
Yeah.
And I assume you started with chickens.
We did.
Yeah.
Chickens and ducks.
The gateway livestock animal. And you butcher your own meat chickens?
We've done both. We butchered them ourselves for years, and then we found a butcher. For the last 2 years, we've taken them to a butcher. But this year, he's closing down shop next weekend, and they're not going to be ready, so we got to do them. So we have 20 Cornish crosses that we rotational just through this area. Set up the fence. It gets me 3 walks, 3 days, and
the guy that we found, the butcher that we use isn't really like a butcher. It's a guy who does it out of his house, and he charges $2 a bird.
right.
And it's like, that's like a no-brainer at that point. They've like give him $40 to do all these birds versus me spend 8-10 hours doing it all day.
Because we are not fast at it.
Yeah.
Like you see people so fast, like the Joel Salatin videos and other people, and they can just eviscerate them and pop, 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 and we are like slow.
Yeah.
So we've been doing meat chicken ever since we watched that video Food Inc. Back in 2009 or whatever, and we bought our first place. So we've been butchering our own chickens, and we've gone through many iterations of pluckers and scalders, and now we have a nice it's homemade, but homemade scalder, homemade plucker, and me and my one buddy, we can do 100 chickens and have them on ice in a couple hours, and then shower, and then just cut them up the rest of the afternoon. So
nice.
if you have the right equipment and quick with a knife, it does go fast.
Right.
I never would have predicted it either, but all the kids really look forward to it. Like our buddies' kids and our kids, it's like a holiday. They get to put on nitrile gloves and pick up heads.
Yeah.
Have you ever raised the Freedom Ranger?
No.
So, we've pretty much tried everything, like since we started doing it. And we did the Freedom Rangers, and we let them range the whole backyard. We had 2-acre backyard, and the problem with Freedom Rangers is catching those things. We were chasing those things around the backyard. Swarm catcher.
Swarm trap, yep.
And you've caught some, right?
I usually keep 2 swarm traps up, I've caught 2 this year, I think. 2. One I couldn't catch. One was in the tree back there.
Oh, right.
And it never moved in, and I couldn't catch that when it was up too high. A lot of beekeepers will do a lot for like swarm prevention.
Right.
Of like getting in like all the time looking at things. I don't. If they're going to swarm, but come live in this box.
You're like me.
Yeah.
A lazy beekeeper.
Yeah. And it seems to be working out well for me.
Now, do you feed your hives in the fall now?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started.
I saw them
They're
cleaning
feeding. That's food in the bucket.
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the blue tub
is their feed.
has, it's gone now.
Oh, it's
they
gone.
went through 5 gallons already.
I put
a little bit of that honeybee healthy stuff in it,
Yeah.
and the smell seems to help attract them to it.
Okay.
Buildings were original to the homestead. So we call ourselves the 1870s homestead because this property was the original homestead on this road. The road is named after the family that homesteaded this land.
Oh.
So we learned that after the fact when we bought it, but and we knew it was built in the 1870s, and we just didn't know when. And so we named the channel the 1870s Homestead. And come to find out, it was actually built in 1876, and this is the original carriage house. It's got some awesome rough hand-hewn beams in it.
Wow.
So your channel name's a fraud.
And,
It's just ambiguous.
around there. This is the biggest mulberry tree on the property. We harvest mulberries from it. We have 7 mulberry trees on the property. So that's why a lot of times people have issues with birds getting in their garden. I never do, because this is in fruit, basically June through August, and they'll just eat off of that. This is the end of the garden sadness. I just have to come in here and harvest the beets. That's all that's left to pull out. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to mow these 2 back beds down that had the bad weed problem, and cardboard it since we're not gardening next year, and mulch with the goat clean out. And here's your pig. Looking good. Hey, little buddy. Hey, it's Mom and Dad.
You remember me? Huh?
They've been super calm lately. The female, she would roll over and lay on her back and let you rub her belly, like in a matter of seconds. This guy's starting to warm up to me a little bit.
Yeah. I know we have a recurrent buyer that buys our pigs every summer, and they said this batch of Tamworths, and they had some of the crosses too, or they're just some of the friendliest pigs.
Yeah.
They bought those Mangalitsa Tamworth the year before, and they said they were like, we're much happier with these. I guess right now I'd probably guess 190 hanging weight.
Oh, really?
That's what I'd guess.
I think we hand fed them for probably the first couple of weeks, and it was like,
Yeah, we need to fill it back up, maybe.
yeah.
Are we ready to get a belly
Still fit like 200
Big.
pounds.
Yeah.
That makes chores easier.
I mean, okay, so I asked you guys, how do I get good pigs? Like, so you butcher a lot of pigs, right? Does he look good? Like, size-wise for bacon? Or would you let him grow out longer? Because we have the option, like, if they call in October to take them, or wait till January.
He's probably the same size as our spring batch was,
Okay.
which I just told Todd I bet he'd probably be about 190 hanging weight. I'm
Okay.
thinking. So another month, maybe, and just looking at him, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But
I don't think you'd be disappointed
No.
if you ate the pork marrow.
No.
If you wait longer, you'll have more. But I don't think the quality will decline.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
see the Tamworth, they are a leaner breed, where like the Tamworth Hereford cross that we have, they would be like rounder.
Oh, rounder.
By
More
this time.
fat?
Yeah, more fatty.
Yeah, that was a trick with the red wattles, is they were just almost too lean, that we didn't have enough fat. the Idaho pasture pigs were too fatty.
Right.
Mhm.
So we're just, some of it's just us learning how to feed them right, like I was sharing when we came and picked them up, and so we're just trying to teach ourselves like what works for us. And they ate the grass. Now, when we had the Idaho pasture pigs in here last year, this was all still grass at this time. They had a little rooting spot where they would keep their wallow.
Mhm.
But these guys and the red wattles definitely like to root a little bit more. But they haven't done like destruction.
No.
I would say this is a very comfortable size paddock
Yeah.
for the number of
Yeah.
pigs you have.
Yeah.
Did you have to rotate them into the other one at all?
No, that's where the goats were.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why
So-
why'd we add that gate?
Did I see a video where you were going on vacation and you wanted to let the goats?
Yeah, we did that.
Oh.
That's
I
why.
know that
So-
detail about your life.
So I have to make an observation because I read the comments on some videos, and I watched that video when you put that gate up.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I put
that's
that.
the upside down hug. Yeah.
put
So I was
that
gonna
piece
see
on
if Todd fixed it, but it looks like he didn't.
I didn't. No, I haven't.
I watched that. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna have a ton of comments
Yeah, I
of
did.
people saying that he put the gate on wrong.
I even bought a proper latch for it, and I never even put that on. So it's just
But yeah,
it's that time of the year where it's just like,
I was gonna come to your defense and say, well, he's got a hot wire on the bottom, so they're not
Yeah.
gonna lift it up.
something. One time since I installed it, something did lift it.
Did it?
I don't know if it was the pigs or the goats, because the goats were on this side.
Yeah.
Well, and I thought about this. I'll let you see
The
that.
hot wire works good. It keeps them
I don't think they share it.
off the
Yeah.
fence, keeps it from rooting up on the fence, but you
Let's
just gotta
go-
check it every day and
Yeah.
make sure sticks didn't fall
Let's
on
go
it
in
or they
here.
didn't.
So,
Wire there.
and so this had goats on it for 5 years, and they've hardly done any damage as well. Every year we would move the house somewhere different. But yeah, today is today's job. That's the Today's job is to move this, harvest all this out, and put it on the garden. Is the plan. But it breaks down and it turns into some really nice compost. So, yeah, it doesn't stink. It smells sweet.
You have what, 7 acres?
7. Nice.
Hive fence that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So at the road it's narrow and it goes
Gotcha.
back that.
Yeah. You kind of see where the mow line stops back at the high grass. That's our neighbors. And then we have it's pretty thick, the tree line, bush line, and then the cornfields behind it. But yeah, this is the
Oh, blueberries.
orchard. This is the blueberry row, yeah. And then we've got peaches, pecans, pears, and apples. I need more time to manage it better. Like, we did get a few apples this year, but they all had that rust on them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't worth harvesting anything. We want to put in probably another blueberry row and a really big asparagus plot in this section.
And you said you've been dry down here too, like
yeah.
us.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, we would watch the storms go to the north, to the south.
Yeah.
Sometimes it seemed like they split up across the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, literally like a half mile down the road, this road was soaked one day, and it was like 3 drops at our house.
So right now this back pasture is mostly for the bees. Todd
Yeah.
manages it. It's got lots of clover and wildflower, asters and everything, and
Awesome.
this is what feeds the bees. But eventually this is going to be his sheep and my cow.
Oh.
Yeah.
He wants to, the goats are gone now, and he wants to raise lamb, and then I would love to get a Dexter cow and just raise it out like as a steer. you
Yeah.
know.
What kind of sheep are you thinking?
Don't know yet. Haven't
Yeah.
researched it. I just know that I like to eat them.
Yeah.
Well, lamb.
Lamb. Something that is good enough maintenance where we could maybe keep a ram and a couple lane mamas, And then we're still figuring out where to build a barn someday. Like in my mind, it makes sense where it's here and I can open up barn doors to paddocks. But we love our sunset view. from the house, so I
Yeah.
don't want a barn blocking the sunset.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out where to put the barn. And in hindsight, the other day we were talking about where the garden is perfect.
Yeah.
And that's where the original barn was for the homestead.
Oh.
And it makes so much sense now. Like to open them up to the
Right.
paddocks, and I don't want to have to move my entire garden.
Do you have a butcher that could come to the farm to harvest your animals, or
We don't know of any traveling.
because that's something to think about as you're designing your
Yeah.
barn and set up
Yeah.
to load animals into
Yeah.
a livestock trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this looks like it's just ripe and ready, waiting for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your bees are using it already. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Have animals on it beats mowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little bee yard.
Yeah.
This is our bee yard. I think we successfully overwintered 5 colonies last year.
Good job.
I got 2 swarms cast off of them, and I caught some up to 7 now. More than what I ever imagined that I would have. I was like, I'm gonna be a beekeeper, and I have 1 or 2 colonies, and it doesn't seem. I
Don't
think you
go
can
any
do that.
bigger.
Yeah.
I'm warning you.
Yeah. This is the perfect size.
Yeah,
How long have you been doing the bees?
4 years, 4 years. I
Okay,
think.
I think
Yeah. So last year successfully overwintered 5. The year before, I successfully killed 4 or 5, all of them.
Yeah.
all of them.
Every single one died.
I successfully killed 30 last month.
30. Oh, geez. Oh, man. But it's fun. I enjoy it. And I think when I first started doing it, I was way more involved. Like every 2 weeks, I had to go pull every frame from every colony.
Yeah,
And it just didn't. I understand some of the reasoning why an active beekeeper would do that, but then I also think that
There's something
It can
natural
be-
about just letting them be bees.
more
Yeah.
natural way of beekeeping. So I'm definitely, like you were saying, I'm a lazy beekeeper now.
I don't
If-
like to say it that. I think we're natural beekeepers.
Natural
okay, that's what we are.
Yeah.
Natural
It's a better
beekeepers.
word,
Okay,
yes.
that's better.
So if I think
I
there's
didn't
an
mean to
issue-
insult you.
Yeah.
If I think there's an issue, I'll get in the colony and I'll go through it. Like there was one that was weak one day, and I'm like, we need to check, make sure we're queen right. Did I
Yeah.
find the queen? No, but I found eggs
Egg.
and larvae, so we know we're good. Close it back up, let them be.
Right.
Same with like swarm prevention. I don't do it. I do treat for mites. I put quilt boxes on every winter, and I have wraps that I put around them for insulation. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most exciting parts about doing what we do is like there's not somebody standing behind you telling you like you have to do it this way, that
Yeah.
way, you must do these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Like we all start looking at the same books and
Yeah.
watching the same
Yeah.
videos or whatever, but then you get to say like, okay, but this is how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, right. There
And
is
it's
no
neat to
one
come up
right
with your
way.
own.
There is, you learn what works for you.
Yeah.
And so it's, if somebody's telling you you're doing it wrong, no, you're just doing it different. And
Yeah.
that's okay. Uh-huh.
I think, I don't know, I felt like, well, society, or at least the way I was raised, like you go to school, you go to college, you get married, you have kids, you have a job you love, like there's like a checklist and a conveyor belt that you're on, and it's really nice to just step off and say, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
Raise some rowdy cattle and stab myself while vaccinating, right?
You win some, you lose some.
That's it. That's the homestead. It's a pretty small operation. It's just for the intent of our family.
Oh, thank you so much for showing us around.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Everything you have going here seems like it's just thriving.
Thank you.
Did not work well.
Mike is hesitant about the apple butter on a turkey cheddar sandwich, but
Oh man, lean into it.
you are going to, if you,
said it's gonna rock my world.
We've still got a bunch of apples in the garage.
you will feel like you are at a restaurant.
Like sandwiches.
What'd you think of Rachel and Todd's place?
It's so cute. Yeah, it's a very beautiful home. Obviously, there's a lot of love in there. Everything's super cozy and cute and thought out. There were no Legos on the floor. There were no cheese stick wrappers, and no one was biting or screaming. It's very different from our house.
Had what, tomato soup boiling down on the...
Yeah, she had tomatoes going and fresh homemade bread, and it smelled wonderful.
They made us turkey sandwich with, what was it,
apple butter and caramelized onions that she canned. Oh my god.
I think they have a video of how to make those caramelized onions, and they are delicious. The one critique is, though, I keep burping them up.
You just get to enjoy them twice. It was very good. It was so nice to get to meet them and see them in their own element.
Alright, well, we're almost home, so thanks for watching our...
Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for more fun with Sweet Briar Farm.